Welcome back to another live trading session, traders. Hope that you had an enjoyable trading day and starting the first day of trading week for the second week of February 2026. Looking at some instrument including gold, and also we will be looking at some trend on DXY as well, how the market potentially could do. Along with, if we look at the USD JPY, currently, if you look at it, tested the neckline and started to reverse again from that high. Now, this market with some shift in sentiment, we will be discussing on USD JPY and euro dollar, British pound, US dollar, Bitcoin. Also, you can see some move. Also, will be throughout the session we'll be discussing, but our main focus here on gold at the moment, which is having a trend. Are you looking at gold or any other instrument? You can share your thought on the live chat. And this is, I think that the audio is working well. Can you guys hear me? And also make sure you like this stream. If you could just let me know in the live chat, guys, if you can hear and see. And are you ready with the risk manager tool to enter any trade if we are opening in this session? Sometimes the audio causes a little bit of disruption. I hope that the audio is on. Welcome. All right, so we are looking at now on XAUUSD. All right, so we will be, first step is to do the analysis. So do you know that if this market is bullish or bearish, that means are we correct directionally? And then we will be looking at the bigger picture to see that where the market is heading. All right, looking at here, we'll have some update on our journal as well. So here an updated 2679. All right, so in this live session, we are just starting. So looking to enter any trade that coming along the way. And okay, now the market open, if you look at, this is the Friday's daily price action. Now there's interesting fact in that daily candlestick pattern. If you look at on Friday, okay, so this is the Friday's candle where there is a daily support, and also if you look at here on the daily resistance, okay, so where the daily high and low, okay, which is the daily important bullish candle. The reason I'm mentioning as important on the daily is because if you look at the Friday has a really strong volume as due to the weekend, and we saw that a daily candle closed with full body candle and also starting from key liquidity zone. We will be discussing about in this live session also how you can understand the liquidity. First, we will be looking at the analysis so that we can know that exactly why we are opening the trade that we are opening. This is very important, you know, the reason. So now today's market, if you look at, just cross this high here, right? And this is daily price action, which is showing that the market may remain upside here. Now this is also the daily high here if you look at. Okay, we see that there is a 4-hour candle close, guys. Now we are approaching towards the narrower area of value, which is very important to look at. If you look at, this is XAUUSD, and this is starting off this move. This is the 4-hour market structure if you look at. And that 4-hour market move that you can see, the reason, guys, I have drawn that box. If you look at this move, there's no red candle, there's no bearish candle formation along the way. You know what, guys, this is I always, more often talk about. What makes a skilled person, or you could say that someone who can do something very extraordinary? If you have any siblings or kids, it's important to know, really, it will be helpful. Curiosity. It's not anything else. Our brain is elastic, that can learn anything at any point. So if you look at, the brain perspective, you'll see that the brain is elastic. So it has the neuron, okay, that can fire and create a new neural pathway, anything that you will be doing, regardless of your level of talent or your skill set. But it's a skill set, and that comes from curiosity. Okay, so that's why in trading, which is, if you look at, there's a lot of research happen on traders also who are good trader, those who has a high level of intellectual curiosity. The reason is, in trading, this is only the field where you have to make a lot of decision with very little information. Right? The market moves. The only information that we have to take a trade is just candlestick pattern, right? Red and blue candle. It's out. If you look at the total information that is 100%, then a trader only need to make a trading decision based on 1% information only from this market structure. So therefore, the more curious you, the better you will have an understanding about the reason behind the movement in the market. So if you look at this is the daily movement, and the first thing that we can look at here in this movement is that 4-hour move. All those green candles, there's no significant red candle except this one here. So with this one single move back to the upside here, now when you see that the market moves like that without any pullback, you can expect a deeper pullback. At the same time, there is a stronger momentum. So what we could see in this kind of market, as there is already, if you look at this, the 4-hour chart, there's a crossover of 10 and 20 EMA. Now, the previous sessions close with this red bearish candle. Now, this session, the market of this support, we can see the price is slowly building its momentum back to the upside here. So what we could see, the market to eventually go up further to this key level, and that if you look at, that's a key level of resistance. The market is now with this movement pullback and expecting that the price to go up further here. So the current level, the purpose of analysis is to find out the area of value where the market is about to bounce or the market is about to move again back from that level. So this is the current 4-hour support level here in that market. And with this 4-hour support on XAUUSD, we can expect this market to eventually move further upside here. And that is what we are looking at with this top here, drop down back below, and expecting the market to respect that support and potentially move up further, because this is a breakup structure here. So therefore we are looking at an entry back to the upside. This is the plan for this, and also we'll be discussing about the previous trade that you have opened during the London session and how we have closed the trade. It's also essential to look at some of the trade that you have opened earlier, and that will give you also better understanding of how currently the market is doing. So that being said here, guys, this is where with this consolidation here in that market, the price action slowly building its local uptrending market structure. And I'm now in a very lower time frame, because this is absolutely a very lower time frame here on XAUUSD on the 1-minute chart. And that's if you look at, this is a structure. The market has broken back to the upside of that resistance line, created this uptrending movement, and the price potentially could go back upward. I think this is the market left an imbalance. As the market moves from imbalance to the imbalance, if you look at, the market is like the universe is a small universe, isn't it? There's a lot of buy and selling happening. If you go to the very smaller scale, then you could see this kind of universe. So the market moves from imbalance to the imbalance, right? So that's why you'll see that the real traders are those who look for the imbalance and trade based on that. All right, so how can you find the imbalance here? It didn't test this previous resistance as support. It left an imbalance in that area. Therefore, we are looking at in this market to give us a potential entry on a retest of this previous resistance as support after a break from the structure. I look for always breakup structure. Breakup structure is the key, guys. Keep in mind that when you look at the breakup structure, you can see the market in the smart money come in the market for buying from the breakup structure. And the current lower time frame trend that you can see is bullish, looking for a breakup structure of that trend line and then coming back here to create a new higher high. Welcome back to this live session for this first day of trading week, and we can see quite a few volatile news that you can see. All right, so the market mover. So there is China just bank to curve US to US exchange. I have no idea what that will impact the market. But do you have an idea what's happening? I think there are a lot of geopolitical tension, but we saw that in recent times, sir, is breakup structure and change of character are the same. No. Breakup structure and change of character are not same. Okay, we'll be discussing on that now. Breakup structure can happen at any point in time. So let me give you an explanation. The choch, okay, the change of character. Let me first reduce the volume of the music. Okay, so choch happen when the market changes its trend, right? So imagine that a market in a sideway, okay, and when the market in a sideway, or if you look at that in a, let's say in a downtrend, all right, and when the market in a downtrend, if you look at some point it might change its trend, right, from a downtrend to an uptrend, or from a sideway market to an uptrend, right? So what happened, the market creates here, if you look at this, is an inverted head and shoulder, and so it changes its character from a sideway to an uptrend or a downtrend to an uptrend. That's choch, right? So choch will happen once in the beginning of the trend, change of character from a downtrend to an uptrend, from a sideway to an uptrend with a breakout. Breakup structure, on the other hand, is break from the trend line. It doesn't necessarily changing the character, right? So if I give you an example, let's say this is the market trending down, form a double bottom, breakout, retest, like that, okay, and then this. So this is choch, right? Because here, so far it was in a downtrend. Here the market change, all right? So this is where the market changes the character from downtrend to an uptrend. Now, when you see the breakup structure, you can see the market is trending and there is a breakup structure. That means it just has broken the previous swing low or the trend line, but doesn't necessarily change its trend. Okay, so that's it. BUS and GUS. Choch. Come on. CHOCH. So choch happens once when the market changes trend. Breakup structure can happen multiple times throughout the direction of the trend. Now, we are looking at here in this market, in that scenario, so if you look at this is, if you look at this is an uptrend here, and in that uptrend creating series of higher high and higher low, which is in an uptrend, and so if you look at this is the recent support level, and with that recent support, as the market is now breaking off that structure, so this is the breakup structure. If you look at, if it drops down further, we can see that in a row quite a few 1 minute candlestick pattern is getting rejected off this support. This kind of move is potentially a trend continuation. If you look at almost 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 minute candlestick pattern has got rejected off that level, right? Are you ready to go long? Now guys, keep in mind that it's important risk management. Okay, risk management is where makes a big difference. So if you look at here that the market is showing its movement, we need to look at the market. So if we enter of this, the first step is to look for the edge in the market and then waiting for to give us a suitable entry. Now, the risk management can be many ways. Okay, there are many kind of trading. If you look at, I have many kind of risk management. So there was a time, sometime I use a strategy that in a smaller account. So you can use it. Some traders uses a very smaller risk for a large account, right? So it depends on what kind of strategy you're using will determine what kind of risk management you're gonna use. I don't use a strategy now, but I know that there was a strategy that before some trader used, and I don't recommend it to use because it doesn't work properly, but it's a one kind of risk management strategy that I saw that some trader in the past, when they used to trade the news, so let's say they keep entirely, for example, $100 in their account, and because during the news there is massive breakout, right? You'll see that the market goes up and down, and what I saw that, like, before the news, just buy a smaller portion and then leaving that whole $100 account at risk, and sometime that $100 account goes to $500, $600 and then closing the trade. So this is how they manage the risk. It's about your appetite of the risk and how much you can afford to lose for a single trade. It's one way that I thought that it's, for example, if you risk, $50,000 in account, right, rather than $100 in account. So if you risk $50,000 and then if you use let's say a $50,000 account and then you keep, let's say, $1,000 on exposure. But you know what? The interesting fact is that in a $50,000 account, even you are exposing that $50,000 as long as you have that capital in that account. Even if you have a stop loss, it's sometime it exposes. You see that 2015 market crash, that time stop loss sometime didn't work because the market crashed very aggressively. If you look at the news time, when the market had a sudden breakout during the news, sometime it goes well below your stop loss. Sometime if you look at over the weekend, weekend closure, this happened many times with me. I placed the stop loss at 1%, and due to the weekend gap, massive gap, sometime minus 10%, and just trade closed at minus 10%. So even if you are placing the stop loss, sometime due to the management, it get exposed to that amount of risk. So in that sense, trading a smaller account and then using a different strategy, also some trader use. So depending on what strategy you're using, the goal here is to use a capital that you are afford to lose, and also you use a system that gives you reliability of trading over the long term. So that's what we are looking at, guys, here in this. But as a beginner, for those who are beginning, let me know how long you are trading. If you're trading as a beginner, then I would say that the first step is learn the basics. Okay, once you learn the basics, once you know everything, you can trade based on many ways. You can modify rules. You can based on your strategy, depending on what kind of strategy you want to use, you can trade it based on that. I hope that makes sense to you. If that makes sense to you, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. All right, so looking at entry, now here you can see of this, we saw there is a initial bounce with this middleman here back to the upside, nearly to 67p move that happened in that area. All right, have some music a little bit louder, and then we will be looking for entry here. I'm a beginner. Okay, so if you are a beginner, then the first step is to trade on a demo account. Okay, but don't trade on live account. Learn the lot size. Okay, how to calculate the lot size, right? And then learn an advanced trading tool. Guys, in the beginning, the biggest mistake the trader does, they try to learn everything manually. Now it's 2026, okay? You don't have to learn everything manually. All right, if you solve a math problem in 1660, in the time of Isaac Newton, I think 1660, or you had to use everything by pen and paper, right? Even I think there isn't pen, right? So you need to use a feather to solve the problem. Now you can use a calculator to solve that problem, so you don't have to use everything manually. First, learn the basics as a beginner. Learn a beginner friendly trading tool that can assist you. Okay, and that's why we have developed many of these indicators, especially in a trending market, that works absolutely. If you guys look at, if you are using this indicator, it's a premium indicator available for the premium members in the academy. If you're a premium member, then you can ask the admin to give you access to this tool. Now this is an advanced trading tool directly generating for me the trade alert on TradingView as well as other platform. Now this is a tool that based on a smaller risk per trade. Okay, this is for a smaller risk because there will be some losing trade with that, but if you use smaller risk per trade, it's an incredible trading tool that I'm using every single day, and also available for the premium members like this. Use a beginner friendly trading tool with risk management, and then learn and look for the long-term growth as a trader. Learn the basics. For example, 3 fundamental structure, that means fundamental building blocks of the market, right? Market structure, liquidity, and price action. So how the trend works, how the price action, that means candlestick pattern. And if you look at along the trend, there is some structure, candlestick pattern, market structure, and then liquidity, right? So liquidity is the fuel of the market. This is where the smart money find their entry from the zone where there is a high volume, there is a higher liquidity in the market. So that being said, looking at here with the current entry, looking for a breakout structure, and then we will be entering into the trade. So thanks for sharing. You're a beginner. Everyone at some point a beginner, right? But no one remain beginner over the long term. That's where it is. How do I join your class? Welcome. You can join directly by the website. You can find link below this video, and also stay connected by joining the Telegram as well, link below. But if you want to join directly right now, you can find link below this video for the website. You can visit the website and be part of the training community. So stay connected by joining the free Telegram. There are many educational content shared in that free Telegram. I understand smart money concept and market structure. Well done. That's very important to know that smart money concept, because the market is in fact moved by smart money, right? So smart money concept is essential to become a better trader, and market structure is the backbone of the market. I want to learn the advanced tool. So well done. This is what I highly encourage, and that's why we trade. So if you are keen to learn to the advanced trading tool, then this is an academy where we are practicing all of that. So I would encourage you to right now, you can join using the link below this video. Once you join there, you can find everything on your email, and there is a student dashboard where you can log in and find all your courses and all instruction there in a student dashboard. So this is what I would say that your first step and also your last step, because here everything is available for you to become a better trader. Everything that I learned is recorded, and also day by day we are upgrading everything that you have to suit the current market volatility. And if you look at, I have already discussed in our premium classes that now the market is highly volatile, and that's a great time for trading, and it's never been so easy to trade before ever. Okay. Okay, so here is what we are looking at the market at the moment in terms of the news trading. Okay. And if we look at the calendar, also important to look at what kind of this is Wednesday 11th of February, okay, coming up, which is basically tomorrow, right? Tomorrow in NY session, core retail sales and retail sales, followed by day after there is NFP schedule, but it might even go back. Okay, so 1 hour candle close here on gold. If you look at, so here with the current and if you look at, this is a support. The market just has crossed that. Are you going to find an entry? Let's look at overall trend here. And I'm just looking to see an entry, if possible, for us to look at here. This is the 1 hour bullish engulfer, and the market trend is significantly bullish at the moment. And with that bullish market structure, if you look at here, from this support created this initial move back to the upside here, and you could see the market to continue to trend back here to create a new higher high in this market. Okay, so with this 15, I was just looking at the 15 minutes market structure. Here we are looking at the market to retest and then to reverse again back. And this drop, if you look at here, it crossed the support and rejected back above. Looking at this market to drop down further, retest, and then return again back to create a new higher high. Okay, with this break below here and the market slowly building its momentum here and looking at that the market to eventually break that above, and we might see the market to, but I think we might see further lowering here for a deeper liquidity sweep, and breaking below can give us a high probability entry for moving back again to the upside. The market here on the lower time frame showing still to be bullish with this inverted head and shoulder breaking above, and there is no scheduled news here later, and therefore we will not see any news coming up, but we see some current event that some of the news has currently the market is in that. So of this high, the market now, we want to see that we can look for going long up above this level. But if you look at this 5,000 level, which is a support level, okay, and the market may maintain that, and can continue to rise here back above. So you wanna see market is breaking well below here before you look for an entry. All right, so here is the market slowly in a sideway on the lower time frame and waiting for this breakup structure that we discussed in few minutes ago, and that's what we are looking at, this zone here. And looking for this move back here below to the support level. Dropping the volume a little bit. Is it reasonable? I think that's what. Okay, so we see on the top a long bearish candle that we are looking at as we are progressing towards the opening of NY session. That is where we will be able to see the clean picture in the market shortly after. Okay, so with this high here, if you look at from this high, the market slowly breaking that high to the low, which is an important level that you are looking at. And of this support, if the market crack back below, we will be looking for an entry back to the upside here in that market. See that break below, and this is what we are looking at for the market to come down further. Do you think at 5007.48 or below is a high probability zone here for buyers? And I think there's a narrow green candle formation here, which is showing the market to come down further back below, and we could see the market to eventually come further down here to create a new low and breaking back above here. Are you in the United States? No, I'm not in the United States. I'm not. Where are you guys? You can share your location, zone, and how you guys are doing. How long you are trading? Where are you from? And what's your trading? In fact, this is another overlooked. And if you look at only we focus on trading, but if you look at the reason for trading is another fundamentally important aspect of successful trading, because trading is hard, right? It's hard. But now with our many of the trading tool and strategy that we are using, it's much more easier. Okay, if you guys looked at, we had one trade in previous London session open, right? And that was, I have already shared some of the so this is, let me bring that up here, guys. This is important. Now, before the London session breakout, this is the lower time frame, 5 minutes on gold, and this is what I have shared in the simple because anything, there is a saying that if you cannot explain something to a kid, then you don't understand it. So simplicity is the, regardless of what it is, okay, we think that complex thing has to be complex, right? But the more complex, the simpler it is. How do you know that? Look at the gravity. Okay, so anyone who even never gone to school can understand gravity. So if you look at how does the gravity work, so if you look at, this is a concave ball, right? So there is a space-time curve. So one direction is, it's like a net. So have you ever seen a net? Put a ball, soccer ball on a net. So how the net will do like this, right? So this is the soccer ball. Now if you place another ball here, that will roll towards the bigger ball. That is gravity. Pulling towards the bigger mass. Okay, it's not pulling, it's actually pushing. Okay, so that's gravity. Simple. Now in the same way, if you look at the entry that we looked at, simple, because this is a London session breakout. Okay, session is very important. And the market trend is bullish. This is a significant order block, and we can expect a reversal of it. And the market is bounce back to the upside, right? So if you look at here, that similarly, and that's why simple strategy we applied. And I have already shared also, in just a couple of minutes, we secured this 107 pip, okay, nearly to 107 pip on one single move. And that's, if you look at that move that we have seen on XAUUSD, it's a one single move. Okay. Now looking at the market structure here now at the moment, we are looking at for the market to break below and then return again back above here. So similar way that we are looking at a key level, simple, okay, because this level is 5007 is where the buyers were interested to buy in the past. And this is what we're looking at now at the moment to enter again of this key support level where the buyers were interested to buy. We want to buy again of this level once the market breaks that key level. As long as the trend is valid, trend is very important. Trend is your friend all the time as long as you are trading. They are saying that trend is your friend until it bends, then you can't break up after with the trend after it changes, right? You still need to trade with the change trend. So here we see some kind of reversal pattern forming, but I will still be waiting for the complete break of structure in that area. Welcome. So where are you looking gold ahead today? So if we look at in terms of the current movement, we are looking at from the intraday perspective from 4-hour chart here of this support and looking for the market to bounce back here above. And if you look at from this support at the moment, the intraday support is here, right? So which is a key level of support. And of this intraday support, the market has shown a momentum in that area. And this is what we are looking at of this support for the market to retest and then return again back. And there is a, if you look at, this is a narrow doji. Okay, so with that narrow doji, we are looking at this market to entirely break below and then to return again back. So the current level of support that you can see 5. So looking gold now at the moment, if you look at before the session open, especially if you look at before opening the London session or NY session, there is a slight change in the volatility that you can see as a part of the trading. Now this current change in volatility, this candle becomes smaller, which is basically for the market to regenerate its momentum again. Momentum is important. How do you know, how do you understand the momentum? One of the understanding momentum also will give you understanding which market to trade and which market not to. So if you see a market like this became like that, try to avoid buying that market until you see this happen, and then like that. So when the market did that and then started to break above, that's momentum. Okay, so on the other side, if you see a market like this doing or moving in a sideways like that and broken back below, strongly broken above, that has a momentum in it, which is eventually could continue to rise again back above to create a new higher high. Okay, so here is if we look at the current volatility, creation log, gold versus Bitcoin, your short-term outlook, your USD reversal, and quite a few. We still see market, especially in terms of calendar. If you look at Wednesday, that means tomorrow in London session there will be two high impact news. So why there's a star here? Release date delayed by 27 days due to the US shutdown. Okay, so there is a shutdown delay that might even delay again. We don't know, but we can what happened is the market actually moved during that time. If you looked at the NFP on Friday, it didn't release, but the market moved. So we might see the same kind of movement, even the data is not coming. So other than this, keeping eye on fundamental is important, especially the sentiment, right? Sentiment is a big part of trading, because no matter how we say that, you want to eliminate emotion from trading, but many of the decision comes from, in fact, from emotion, right? In fact, a lot. If you look at, this is a kind of, I'd say that I can't even explain how it is. So if you look at the brain, okay, frontal lobe, midbrain, reptilian brain, right? This is the front. Now, this is emotional brain. 97% of our decision is clouded by the emotion. Interestingly, right? Because it's the emotional brain. And so how does this work? In fact, we make first decision and then justify it based on the emotion. The reason is very simple. Emotion is like a sunglass that you are wearing, right? So imagine that you are wearing a red sunglass or a green sunglass or a yellow sunglass. You'll see everything in that color. All right, so here is some connection disconnection that's happening. So at the moment we see there is a sideways movement here. Now, because of that, as we discussed, that the current sideways market is here. A little patience is key. So let's have a little bit of louder music and then we'll be looking at a bit more fresh picture in the market to see where the market is going, how we can find that entry with patience. That's where the secret, guys. Patience is key to everything, not in trading, but also everything. Ready to take your trading to the next level, or everything that you are doing to take you that things to the next level is the patience, is the secret key of everything that you can possibly have in your life. Okay, so we are looking at as the market here significantly broken above of this support level. This is a one single move now at to the upside, expecting the market to trend down further back below, and this is what we are looking at here at the moment. Okay, breaking that level, we're looking at the market to trend back down below to the support. So this is the current trend line that you can see here in that market. So here on this lower time frame, quite a few long wick dodges that you can see the market is creating its structure back to the upside here in that area, and with this a break above, that's where looking for an entry here. Let's see that where we can allow to trade futures. Does this advanced tools work with futures as well? Can you this tool will be customized? It is based on chart, so it's not about what kind of trade you can trade on anything, because the trading tool considers the chart, not the type of trading. Okay, so you can look at the Bitcoin, can look at the Ethereum, or any instrument, anything, because the trading tool doesn't consider what it is. It considers the market structure, the price action, and how it is interacting with the market. Okay, so regardless of what it is, so therefore this is the beauty of having a like that universal trading tool that you can use anywhere. If you look at this tool that you are using, you can see that it's showing generating the trade that you need on gold, and also going to the Bitcoin, the same thing. It's generating, and it works much more also better in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin on the lower time frame shows nice looking trend. If you look at those trade, you can plot on the chart. This is losing trade, but the one that has win, massive one. Okay, so you need to look at the bigger one. When you look at the bigger one, that's a huge. Okay, so if you can keep bigger profit target, so if you look at the US30, the same thing. If you look at the GBP JPY, same thing. And looking at WTI, the same one. Okay, so look at the WTI on the lower time frame also showing. So it will consider the market structure, to consider the ATR and the moving averages, all the tools, that all the universal parameter that every market has. Okay, so the market is two-dimensional, right? Or three-dimensional. Market is two-dimensional. So as long as the market is two-dimensional, it's gonna work. Now we are looking at, it is coming towards the trend line, which is key trend line here. And with the trend line, expecting the market to come down further back below here to this support level to create a new lower low. So with this narrow sideways market, looking at this price action to drop further back below here to this support, and then to return again back up to create a new higher high. And okay, here is potentially gaining momentum, and I'm looking at preparing for an entry, guys, here for this potential move back to the upside. So we want to see little deepen. There is an imbalance here, and we would like to take the trade back in that area. Now this is where of this support I'm still not entering, looking to see the potential opportunity to enter. And however, we may see this is the 5 minutes price action, and as soon as I will be entering, I will also letting you know nearly to 100 pip stop loss. If we enter, I'm still looking at it, potential opportunity. We want to see that breaking below here and then to reverse back. So looking also the 15 minutes price action. All right, so here now I'm going to find that entry. So if you look at the 5 minutes price action, is closing as a daisy. Okay, so you want to look at, if you look at it's breaking back below, this is what you want to see. The market is breaking down back below before you look for that entry. So you have enough space for the stop loss. Now it's nearly to 75 pip. It's on the trend line at the moment, and at this level that I'm going to enter a buy trade here on gold of this support level. Come on, boy, too much. All right, so the market start to move up, and I'm on a trade, and I believe you guys also want to take that move back above here. I've also shared the same trade in the group. It's a little late entry, but we are on this. Since we have entered, it moved 29 pip of this support here, and stop loss showing up at 5004.68. TP target at 5027. Okay, so we are on a trade, and here looking to see that going to break this high. If we can go for nearly to, boom, that's moving up. My entry at 5010.84. My entry is here. My entry is here, guys, and I am up now with this trade 66 pip, nearly to, this is the second trade of the day. I want to take this one. I believe you guys owned it. Let me know in the live chat if you're after patient waiting. We are on the trade now. If you are running this trade, make sure you like this stream. If you're not running this, also make sure you like this stream, because there's a lot to learn from here. Okay, now with that level, okay, so with that level, it's where it's moving, it's growing up. You're up 70 pip, and we might take profit soon, because after moving this much, I will not take the loss. If the market in case drop to the entry, we will be going out. At the moment, I'm waiting for further upside here, as the market shown its first move. The market is on the resistance line, but would like to see that one single move back to the upside here, so that we can take profit. Okay guys, so I'm still running, but at any point if we see the market not going aggressively to the upside, you will be exiting the trade. It's at entry for many of you probably. Scoring below here. Sudden drop. This is entire break to this support, and which is a key support level from this top. It's near to my entry, and I am exceeding the position with the current PNL. So I'm out with the current PNL. So it's at entry or little profit running. Got a significant move. It just took out. So we can re-enter at any point in time, but the market has broken back below, so I will not be running anymore. Here I got some move, and for me it's just 11, 13.3, nearly to 20, 508, 5010.84, TV 5013.30. So around 25 pip. I'm out with 25 pip profit. We can run at any, we can enter again as soon as it will appear for better entry. How about your trade? If you got an idea. Okay, so yes, thank you. Anyone have got profit with this trade? If you got, then make sure you like. If you don't, also make sure you like so that you have next time you can learn and grow. So now we will be looking for more entry, just beginning, $210. Okay. Here the market might do little up and down or liquidity sweep. Any breaking news? Why the market is volatile? So far the same news that you can see in terms of trading, right? Maybe some other news. That's interesting. The market has entirely broken back above of this level. No problem. Can again enter as many time as possible, or as many time as we can, as long as we have proper risk management, which is the key, right? Now, looking at 4 hour and the lower time frame here, with this trade, the market has shown that upside bias here in that area. Anyone had been with this trade? Traders, can you let us know what's happening? Now, okay, let's understand now the education. There is a saying that, if you win this trade, just one day you got 1 day profit and that's all. But if you learn the skill set, that's a lifelong achievement, right? Knowledge is power. So, and therefore, if you look at this trend line, now this is a trend line if you look at, and that's a significant trend line. Why? Because if you look at the past, the market has dropped to that bounce back above. And if you look at the market, tested this bounce back above, tested this bounce back above, tested this. So every time the price was coming to that support, getting rejected of that level. And if you look at here as well, the market has crossed that and rejected back above here. So what we are looking at here, that a breakup structure. This is what in the beginning of the session, if you guys looked at, one of you asked that what is the difference between CHOCH and BUS? That means what is the difference between breakup structure and change of character, right? Gonna be a small educational video coming later explaining further, so don't miss out that one as well. Later today you will see in the channel. Have you subscribed to the channel for more education? Let me see. I see that. Thanks for that. And if you look at here, later today, and so when the market has broken out of the trend line with a bigger ATR candle, that's where the key, right? That's where the key zone that we need to look for a long-term entry in the market. Okay, so we are at the moment here in that area. Okay, so you see this is a key support level. The market has trended here, has created that move, and off this support, if you look at, the price is breaking back to the upside, which is the market is showing up to be significant here in that area. So as the market has broken back up, it's showing that the market is trending, and as you can see that XAUUSD currently gold is bullish. What that signal to you? If the gold is bullish, there is something that we need to pay attention as well. What is that? Gold is highly driven by fundamental along with the technical, because gold is highly, like, it's sensitive to news. I'm long since 4998 TP 5069. That's a big one. 5069. Let me see here daily. If you look at the weekly, 5069. That achievable because the previous weekly high that you can see, the previous weekly high is at 5091, right? and the previous weekly high is 5091. And the market is, it is possible for the market to reach that far. And so this current trend may continue to that level, which is possible to happen, to that the market to reach that far. And if you look at this lower time frame market structure, this move, pullback, and the move, the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure. And if you look at the 5041, which is, you had the TP at 5069, I think the market may come down for deeper pullback of this 5047 or extending above, or may continue, okay, because already had a break of structure. But I wouldn't take that such a big target unless it's a long-term investment, because breaking 5047, the market might come down for a deeper pullback, and that might bring that market even to the weekly support level, depending on what strategy, how far stop loss you have. But I would say that, yeah, if I would keep the target around 5047 or 5046 to increase the probability of the profit target. All right, so here is, you can see the market now again coming for that deeper pullback. Now you guys see that every day we are doing the live session, we patiently wait for an entry, and then when it comes, we enter the trade. But it's worth, right? When you patiently wait, how does that help you? You think that, okay, I waited, learned, and in this live session for 2 hours, and I took a trade, I win or lose, but what did you achieve from this? If you are patient enough and watching the live session, learning, growing as a trader, and you're actually building something in the back that even you don't know. You know what it is? You are reconditioning your brain to restrain, to remain patient. Because if you look at our brain, cannot understand the difference in many dimensions. What do I mean by this? Let's say every day you go for a walk and sit down on a bench for an hour. That will help you to fall asleep quickly. Why? Because it reflects one area into the other. Because the brain cannot much, unless you become very conscious of it, cannot understand the difference of many areas. And that example can be that it's sometimes called the muscle memory, or you create a neuro connection that reflects in many aspects, many dimensions. Therefore, it will help you to other areas in your life to succeed and to do better. So always, anything by fun or by serious is the same neuro connection in the brain. As long as you back by emotion, it will be faster. Therefore, learning to trade is worth doing, because that will help you to do better as a trader and also to do better as a non-trader. Are you ready to take your trading to the next level? by learning to trade and by becoming dedicated to trader for at least some period of time. Now, we see the market has broken to the upside here, right? We are still looking for some positions. So we had two trades today, both of them winner, and now we want to keep that winning streak on for the upcoming session as well. All right, so it's now, if you look at, this is another drop. Cool. So we need the news here. Calendar. No problem. So my biggest concern today was 1 hour 20 EMA not being tested, but as soon as we did, we went long. 1 hour 20 EMA. Okay, so at this level, yes. So this is another key aspect. So if you look at that 10 and 20 exponential moving average crossed over from each other in the market in a strong trend, when you see the market is coming to retest that first time after the crossover, it's a high probability entry. Right. So this is another way to look at the market. Market is here in that area showing up to be we might see now deeper pullback. can see some deeper drop here, deeper move that you can see the market is approaching, and okay, so if we look at from this top, it is straight, has broken well below here to this support level, which is a significant lower here in that area. The market may move again, continues to ride back above here in that market. So therefore, with this long wick doji on the lower time frame, the market is getting a rejection. You might see the price to cross that high and creating a new higher high. So okay, we might see short-term move here, as if you look at that at this time also we'll see that tomorrow coming up high impact news, okay, which is on dollar core retail sales and retail sales. They might be delayed, but we can expect the market to move during that time period with the news coming. As with this here, it's now breaking back to the upside. Beside that, also we can look at what's happening with other market. Are you looking at anything else? I was looking at also the BTC USD to see what kind of trend currently going on in the market. On BTC USD, there is a long wick candle. Now this market, this long wick can be a wick fill or bouncing back. What do you think? That BTC USD has printed a big long wick candle here in that area. Share your thought on BTC USD. And US30, there is a bullish rejection again here. So US30 is showing that if you look at it, is a bullish engulfer. Looking at here 225 this morning with Asian session we'll be looking at. So we see that US30 had time to time when we trade gold, also I look at other pairs, because there's one important relationship, guys. This is a really great understanding of trading, is that if you trade one instrument, it is always a better idea to look at major pairs, okay, major instrument. That's how you can have, because there is a currency correlationship, you know that there's a huge relationship with the stock market and forex market and instrument, okay. Metal market, oil market, they are directly related to each other, not indirectly. So if you look at WTI, if you suddenly see that oil is going up, that will have also impact with other instruments. That's why looking at all of them will give you better understanding of the market structure. So if you look at US30, we can see that from the monthly, this is bull market, and from the weekly, first day of trading week, we saw previous weekly price action here, a bullish engulfer, which has engulfed the previous 3 weeks entirely. So showing that there is a potential for trend continuation, the bullish engulfer. And this is a daily sideway. So if you look at here, with this bullish engulfer pullback, the market may continue to trend here on US30. So there is a potential for upside bias. If you look at the Nasdaq, they are normally US30 and Nasdaq also follow each other. Little different now. In the past, now we see there is a lot of difference, but in the past around 2 years ago, it almost printed the similar kind of pattern. Now these days changes a little bit, and this is also long-term bull market, and I think this drop that you can see is this break can be a liquidity grab and could see that continuation. Potentially Nasdaq might remain here. So Nasdaq has become more manipulative compared to US 30 because of so many new traders just wanted to trade Nasdaq. Okay. Yeah, there are some factors contributes, but before, if you look at the monthly, you'll see that, right? Go back to a few months earlier, you'll see that they almost printed the similar kind of price action, and then there has been some changes now at the moment, but they almost still follow each other. And dollar yen is currently, if you look at that, with the yen's strength, dollar yen started to, if you look at the 4 hour, you can see that this is head and shoulder. And with some of the fundamental geopolitical change in yen also making it now, if you look at dollar yen is printing a head and shoulder on the 4 hour. So that signals that the market may now trend. So what does also that mean? There is some yen was, if you look at the monthly, okay, so if you look at dollar yen historically since 2021, before 2021, before the pandemic was here, yeah. So after the pandemic, few months, the market was in a downtrend, and then dollar yen picked up, okay, since 2021 till now in a bullish trend, because this is how the monetary policy is made to make it that way. Now the policy is shifting, so there is some kind of, now the market is trying to create some bearish move that we can see at the moment. So far it's creating a head and shoulder here on the 4 hours so far. Bigger red candles, if you look at smaller green candles, already we have seen that the market here also, if you look at couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, I have posted quite a few analysis. This is the 4 hour here, a big head and shoulder from the intraday, and the market has just tested the same order block and forming another head and shoulder. Okay, so if you look at both of these, the similar kind of pattern this being shown here. So head and shoulder with order block, the market reached the same level, and head and shoulder with forming an order block. So that might now potentially come back to the next order block here. So if that's the case, then if you look at order block, now the previous order block, it's creating series of lower high. Can you see the trend here? So creating series of lower high, and therefore there's a chance for a lower low here, and then testing another order block, and the market may trend here down. So that, from that fundamental perspective, the dollar yen is now trying to create that bearish move, and I think the price may continue to drop down to this order block. After that, we might see range, or you could see further down, but breaking below here, in fact, it's a quite a bit of movement, right? Nearly to 250-60 pip more possible here on dollar yen. So if dollar yen is coming down, that's in fact again bullish for gold, right? So gold might remain upside, because also you can see the dollar index is having that bearish pressure here. Now, if dollar index is, if you look at with this movement, I was expecting to go up further, but we can see that this head and shoulder is actually playing out here. This is a large head and shoulder on the daily on dollar index, the same way like the dollar yen. So, and then the market reached there, tested this head and shoulder, neckline, retest, and then trending. So if you look at the monthly on dollar index, you can see that there is a long wick at the bottom. So the market might feel that long wick. Okay, if the market feel the long wick, there is possibility for further sell off. Middleman on monthly. Yes, this is what you can see, that the price tested exactly. It's a textbook middleman, and that's why the market tested the 20 EMA, tested the lower shadow, upper shadow, and it's feeling that zone. So if that's feeling that from the technical here, we might see that our index to remain bearish to this order block or even downside. So with that price action, gold is showing, because gold moves opposite of dollar index, so therefore we can see gold is showing that bullish move based on that. Therefore long term, now at the moment, gold might move bullish, or move in a worst case it might move in a sideways, less likely to be bearish, very less likely, while we can see dollar index. And this week as well, it's a big trading week coming up, and I believe that you guys enjoyed this okay, so that being said, guys, it was an incredible trading session with all of you, and we are moving towards the next day's trading session here. Also throughout the just begin the NY session, I do come on live every single day during this time period to trade the market, and also to discuss about trading psychology, and learning to trade. I hope that you enjoyed this session. If you enjoy, make sure you don't miss out to also join the Telegram. You can find link below this video, and also check out the website link below this video also for more updated education as well as analysis that I'm posting every day. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you again very soon, trading live together. Until that, stay well, stay happy.